In life, we are constantly pulled in different directions, often torn between the responsibilities we shoulder and the expectations others have of us. From the moment we wake up, we are greeted with demands at work, at home, in our social circles, and even from within ourselves. We are taught from an early age to be polite, helpful, and agreeable, often to our own detriment. The word no may seem like a small, insignificant utterance, but in reality, it holds tremendous power. Learning how to say no is one of the most empowering, life-affirming choices you can make. It is not an act of rejection. It is an affirmation of your boundaries, your values, and ultimately your self-worth. Many people struggle with saying no. We fear rejection, guilt, and disappointing others. We might worry that saying no will jeopardize our relationships, our careers, or our sense of belonging. But ironically, it's our inability to say no that often leads us to burnout, resentment, and a diminished sense of self. The truth is that saying no is a vital act of self-care, a tool of empowerment, and a necessary skill for creating a life that truly reflects our priorities. In this speech, we will explore the profound power of saying no and how this simple word can change our lives for the better. For many people, saying no feels uncomfortable and unnatural. The root of this struggle lies in the societal pressures we face. From a young age, we are conditioned to be agreeable and to please others. We're often told that saying yes is the right thing to do, that being helpful, accommodating, and always available will make us more liked, appreciated, and respected. In many ways, we learn to derive our sense of self-worth from others' approval. However, there is a downside to constantly saying yes. We may find ourselves overextended, exhausted, and overwhelmed. We may agree to things that don't align with our values or that drain our energy, leaving us with little to give to the things that truly matter. The fear of letting people down or the anxiety about how others will perceive us if we refuse can lead to feelings of guilt and inadequacy. This fear makes saying no feel like an impossible task. It is also worth acknowledging the fear of confrontation. Often saying no requires us to stand firm and assert our boundaries, which can feel daunting, especially if we worry about creating tension or conflict in our relationships. But the reality is that not saying no may actually lead to greater tension and resentment, not only toward others, but also toward ourselves. At its core, saying no is about valuing and respecting yourself. When we say yes to everything, we often end up saying no to ourselves. We deplete our time and energy, and our ability to prioritize our own needs and well-being diminishes. Saying no, in contrast, is an act of honoring your boundaries and acknowledging your limits. Self-respect requires the ability to put your needs first, even when it feels uncomfortable. It means recognizing that you are worthy of your own time and attention. When we set clear boundaries and learn to say no, we communicate to others that our time and energy are valuable. We also send a message to ourselves that we matter, that our well-being comes first, and that we have the right to protect our peace. Learning how to say no is also about recognizing your worth. You don't have to say yes to every opportunity that comes your way, especially when it's not aligned with your values or goals. By declining requests that don't serve your purpose, you create space for the things that truly matter, whether that's pursuing your passions, focusing on your personal growth, or spending time with loved ones. Time is one of the most precious resources we have, and it is finite. When we say yes to everything, we squander the opportunity to focus on the things that truly matter to us. We all have a limited amount of time and energy, so it's essential to be intentional about how we spend it. Learning to say no gives us the ability to protect our time and allocate it wisely. For example, think about the commitments and activities in your life right now. How many of them align with your personal values or long-term goals? Are you spending time on things that inspire you, or are you simply saying yes out of obligation or fear of letting others down? Saying no allows us to streamline our lives and focus on what truly brings us joy, fulfillment, and success. When we choose to say no to activities, events, or obligations that do not serve our greater purpose, we free up space for the things that bring us meaning. Instead of running on empty, we can devote our energy to pursuits that nurture our growth and bring us closer to our aspirations. It is also important to note that saying no is not just about rejecting external demands, but also about respecting your internal needs. Saying no to the voices in your head that tell you to overextend yourself, or to the guilt that might arise when you decline an invitation, is equally important in reclaiming your time. One of the biggest obstacles to saying no is the fear of missing out, FOMO. We live in a society that constantly bombards us with opportunities, events, and experiences. Social media further amplifies this sense of urgency. Everyone else seems to be having a great time, achieving success, and living life to the fullest. So when faced with an invitation or request, it's easy to feel like saying no means we're missing out on something important. However, the truth is that FOMO is an illusion. It's driven by the belief that there's always something better out there, and that saying no might mean we're losing out on a chance for happiness or growth. In reality, the more we say no to things that don't align with our values, the more we open ourselves up to experiences that truly matter. When we embrace the power of saying no, we step away from the constant hustle to do more and be more. We stop living in a reactive state dictated by external expectations. Instead, we create space to pursue what truly resonates with us, leading to a deeper, more satisfying sense of fulfillment. Society often imposes expectations on us that may not align with our personal values or aspirations. From career choices to family obligations to social expectations, we are constantly being told what we should do. In many cases, these pressures are not in line with our true desires and may even detract from our happiness. Learning to say no to external expectations is crucial for personal growth. It allows us to carve out our own path and live authentically, rather than conforming to a mold that others have created for us. The ability to say no to what doesn't serve us is a powerful declaration of independence. It's an acknowledgement that our worth is not dependent on meeting others' expectations, but on staying true to ourselves. It's important to note that saying no to external pressures doesn't mean we're abandoning our responsibilities. It simply means we're choosing to prioritize the things that are truly important to us, whether it's pursuing a career path that aligns with our passions, spending time with loved ones who bring us joy, or focusing on our personal growth. Saying no allows us to stay on course.